Hello. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's start with lecture 2. So before going to lecture 2, if any newcomers are there, please watch my previous video before starting this lecture. So we started with Australia, its basic parts, and some of its other important cities. So now to dig into deeper, so previously we had made two important layers. So one was the places, how the Tropic of Capricorn is passing, and what are the other places in Australia. Now let's start an active recall. So what we had seen is there are 7 continents. So starting from largest to smaller, it is Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. So for studying easy purpose, so I've started with Australia, which is marked red. And we also studied about Tropic of Capricorn passing through South America, Africa, Australia, and Oceania. And there's the enlarged map and the part which you have seen, all this we have done detail. And for a quick recap, we have done the important places also. So now let's recall it. This is Western Australia, Northern Territory, Queensland, that is in the order of how the Tropic of Capricorn is passing. And the respective capital cities are Perth, Darwin, Brisbane. Again, it is in the order of passing Tropic of Capricorn. And below the Tropic of Capricorn is your South Australia, New South Wales, and Victoria. And the respective capitals are Adelaide, Sydney, and Melbourne. And capital of Australia will become the Canberra. And these are the different water bodies which I had marked in the previous class. And the new things which was introduced was Tasmania and Hobart. So now, hope this is all revised and you all know the important capitals and important places in Australia. Let's begin to put one more layer on top of it. So we are going to study according to how the Tropic of Capricorn is passing. We had made 2 layers, that is Western Australia, Northern Territory, and Queensland, where the Tropic of Capricorn is passing. In the same way, we are going to study what are the different relics which are actually present in Australia. We'll start with the deserts, ranges, basin, and what are the important mountains, and what are the important water bodies surrounding Australia. So we'll start with the landforms. On the land, what actually are the important desert or ranges, that is Great Victoria Desert, Gibson Desert, McDonald Ranges, that is present in Northern Territory, Simpson Desert, which is in between of the 3 places, that is this one is your Northern Territory, Queensland, and Southern Australia. Great Artisan Basin is in your Queensland, and this is a Great Dividing Range, and the highest peak in this is Mount Kosciuszko. If any of my pronunciation is wrong, please let me know and correct me in the comment section. And the other water bodies are Indian Ocean in the left and down, Coral Sea in the northeast, and Pacific Ocean. And to remember them, I will tell you a very easy thing. That is, since you have studied the Queensland here, and you can always remember Victoria is a very popular queen name, very popular or very known name, queen name. So here also a Victoria place comes, and don't get confused with the place of Victoria and its capital is Melbourne here below the New South Wales. The desert name is also Great Victoria Desert. It is a desert which comes here and a Victoria which comes here. Now the Queensland is here, and the exactly opposite to it is a Great Victoria, and here is a Victoria. This makes a triangle here. Yes. And the Tropic of Capricorn passes like this. And next is a Gibson. I guess it is a name related to a monkey. So you can imagine a monkey hanging to a branch of Tropic of Capricorn here. And even you can remember this McDonald ranges as a McDonald M shape, which is hanging to the Tropic of Capricorn. And Simpson Desert you have to remember because it is in the middle of the three places, and the Great Artesian Basin. So you can also remember this relating to the Queensland only. So in the court of the Queensland, there are a lot of artists present. So there's a basin present for them. So now let's put all the places which are studied in the place as according to the Australian map. So the triangle which I told you, this is the Queensland. Opposite to it is, diagonally opposite is Great Victoria Desert, and this is Victoria. And hanging to the Tropic of Capricorn is the Gibson Desert, and there's a McDonald Ranges. In between, connecting all the three regions, Northern Territory, Queensland, and South Australia is Simpson Desert. And in the Queensland, you can see Great Artesian Basin. And the dividing range, this is all again a great dividing range, and the highest peak is Mount Kosciuszko. So if we see the water bodies previously which I had shown, this is Indian Ocean, this is Coral Sea, and this is Pacific Ocean. Okay. So I had given you a homework in the previous class, that is per capita land. What actually is a per capita land? If you have done the homework, it's well and good. And if you didn't have time, I have written a short note about the per capita land here. It's the entire land accessible by man in that area. So the land which is accessible by land, for example, in some places, in some continents, majority of the land is a desert, and some it might be both hot and cold deserts also. But in the case of Australia, the per capita land is more. So the answer is Australia has the highest per capita land among all the other continents. So here goes your answer for your homework. Now let's go to the next one more question I had given you. What are the other water bodies and the places which are touching here? So since we have seen this new places here, so I have kept the same map here so that then and there where these places are coming, we'll have a quick glimpse where these basins, ranges are also coming along with the places also. So now we'll start learning according to the water bodies. So if you see the Pacific Ocean here, where my arrow is pointing, you can see what are the other things we can see is Tasmania and Hobart. It is not seen here, it's an island here below the Australia. Then there is New South Wales, and here Victoria. Don't get confused here. I already given you a mnemonics also. Here comes the Queensland, Great Victoria Desert, and here's Victoria, and Victoria capital is Melbourne. Yes, and here comes your Canberra and Sydney. Canberra is capital Australia, and Sydney is the capital of New South Wales. And all these things comes near the Pacific Ocean here, southeast. Now let's shift to the Coral Sea. So we are trying to study the Australian map in the perspective of seas, and it's in Queensland and Brisbane. It comes near the Coral Sea here, this side. Then next here it goes to the Western Australia here. This one, Western Australia, you have Great Victoria Desert, Gibson Desert also, and which touches the Indian Ocean is Perth. I guess Perth is here, and here is Darwin, and the southern Australia is Adelaide, and Queensland is Brisbane, and the Tropic of Capricorn is passing through Western Australia, Northern Territory, and Queensland. That is 23.5 degrees south to the equator. Yes, so far we have done so many things on Australia, though it is a very small continent and the only country and a continent. It has a lot of things. We first started with this simple thing, and knowing its the important places and its respective capitals, water bodies surrounding, and what are the relic features it has, important relic features, with its highest mountain here so far, and this is the Great Dividing Range, and the other water bodies surrounding it. And this is the answer for your previous homework, which and all are the important cities and places touching the what can I say, water bodies surrounding Australia. So now let's see an empty map. Here I have written all the places which you have learned so far by 2 to 3 layers. So basically you need to have only this plain map here, and looking at any point mark here, you should be able to position which place the respective um, name is present, can be placed on this map. So if I show you, point my arrow mark on the Simpson Desert, you should be able to tell that Simpson Desert is in between this, and it joins Northern Territory, Queensland, and South Australia. Yes, and again Gibson Desert, it comes in the Western Australia in the top, and Great Victoria Desert, it comes here down below the Gibson Desert, and it is diagonally opposite to Queensland. And here is a Victoria, and Victoria's capital is Melbourne, correct? Yes, now let's see some other names. How can we relate it? This is Western Australia, which comes here, Northern Territory, Queensland, and this is Southern Australia, New South Wales, and Victoria, correct? And again below to it, it comes Tasmania. Yes, now let's see the capitals. Capitals, let's go in the reverse order now, because it becomes like a ratification if we again start with the new Tropic of Capricorn method. If we go in the reverse order, we'll come to know how efficiently we have incorporated whatever we have put the layers on one top of the other. Yes, we'll start from here, Tasmania. Okay, Tasmania capital is Hobart, and Victoria capital, Melbourne, and New South Wales, Sydney, correct. What is the other place which comes below Sydney? It comes here. That is the capital of Australia. That is Canberra. And Queensland, which comes below Tropic of Capricorn here somewhere. That is Brisbane. And here Northern Territory. What is the capital of Northern Territory? Darwin, correct. And the Western Australia, the capital which comes below the Tropic of Capricorn somewhere here, it is Perth. And let's start with the oceans. Here comes your Indian Ocean. Here also Indian Ocean. Here comes your Coral Sea. And here comes your Pacific Ocean. Yes. Now the new things which I have studied, let's mark that one also. So Queensland is here. Opposite to that is Great Victoria Desert. And top of it, there's a monkey hanging, holding a McDonald's here. So we can name the monkey as Gibson Desert. So this is just a mnemonics. I'm not trying to harm or name any animal. I'm not trying to make any fun of it. So just a remembering method, Gibson Desert. And here comes McDonald Ranges and Simpson Desert, which comes in the contact of three places. That is Northern Territory, Queensland, and Southern Australia. And one more is Great Artisan Desert. It comes to Queensland. Just remember that Queen will have lot of artistic people in her court. So Great Artisan Desert comes near the Queensland itself. Then we have a Great Dividing Range here. Yes, and Mount Kosciuszko down, the highest one, near by I think here comes your capital of Australia. Tell me what it. It's Canberra. Correct. So now hopefully we have remembered everything. So if you have anything else, you can look into this or you can take a screenshot of it. Yes. Now let's see what other homework we'll do. So this is the I think it is third and fourth layer which I made on the plain Australian map. Now try to see just the Australia map, and wherever by default, wherever you try to keep the arrow mark and try to recall what are the different types of places, things, water bodies which you have studied so far. So it's better if you learn all these things initially very 100% proper, because once we start with the rivers, what are the rivers and in which what are the lakes and important port cities. So in which side of the ocean is touching the port cities, rivers, in which side it is going, flowing through. All this becomes important in UPSC and PSU's exams. So one more important thing is there is a Kimberley. It is also present in Australia. And again, there is another Kimberley, which you'll find in Africa also. So it's better you just go do a 5 minutes of research on Kimberley, what actually happened. Kimberley, and recently it got closed in 2020. It used to get, it is a mine where pink and whitish color of diamonds used to get mined from here and to get supplied to entire the world. And this is one important new thing which I'm adding here. This is the Kimberley. Previously I had added in the below here. It is Tasmania and Hobart, and here it is Kimberley mines. What actually happened? You can do a 5 minutes of research, and that's it for today. If anything is not understood and if I missed or if anything I need to improve, let me know in the comment section. Okay guys, keep revising. All the best.